Good morning, everyone. Hope you're well. Tuesday, yes, Tuesday today. Oh, the lighting looks most bizarre on this today, but I'll go with it. Yeah. So hope you're all well, and there we go. Finally, stop messing around with it. There we go. So let me see if we can find who we're talking to today. There we go. Excellent. That's great. And send the request. Everyone's nice and busy, and obviously lots of events and things going on that we're all getting ready for. Lots of lovely people joining. Hello, everyone. Lovely to see you all, which is lovely. So let me just have a look again. Oh, cancel, and let's have a look. Invite. Let me try that again. Sometimes it throws out, but we'll try that again. Technology, we love it. Hi, Emma. Had a lovely birthday. Sounds like you had great fun in the kitchen. There we go. Hello. How are you? Yeah, really good.
Hello. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Doing this. Sometimes things go wrong, but you're here, which is great. So please introduce yourself and tell us what you make.
Okay. So I'm Katy. I'm the founder of Nature Reclaimed, and we make predominantly scented candles using 100% natural wax, fragrance with pure essential oils, and then we hand pour those into upcycled glass bottles, of which is hand cut by us. And over time, food, wonderful gift ideas made from recycled materials, including ceramic candlestick holders, greetings cards, printed cotton bags, and they're all made by fellow eco-conscious local makers.
Fantastic. And so, why did you set up your business, and how did you come up with your business name?
Yes, I mean, about as a lot of business ideas did in the last year as a result of lockdown. So during lockdown, there was a big increase in litter in our local parks. So my husband began plogging, which is a combination of picking litter and jogging. We've both always been sort of keen runners, but I think when he was running past all these bits of the park that were just completely sort of inundated with litter, he felt like he needed to do something. So we started collecting them up. Most of it obviously ends up in the bin, but every now and then he'd find something interesting, and there were lots of glass bottles, and he started thinking about what he could do rather than just recycling them, whether there's something else we could turn them into. So that's what began. The actual name was something that came to me when I was lying in bed. I quite often have, as I'm drifting off to sleep, and then the moment where you think, do I jump up and write this down? Yeah. Do I just repeat it to myself and hope I'll remember it in the morning? And fortunately, this one stayed with me into the morning. And as soon as Ollie woke up, I sort of said to him, "What do you think of this?" And he really liked how it embodied, the fact that we were trying to reclaim nature from all the litter that had been dropped there, but also that all of our products are as natural as they can be. So it really
that's great.
Through all of our products.
Sorry, there's a bit of sound coming from that. Let me just, there we go. Is that all right? It was a bit of reverb coming back. And we talk a lot about that with, hello. Is that okay? Can you hear me okay? It's weird. It's got some kind of sort of reverb coming back at me, which I won't talk so much. That's not going to happen. I'm talking about the things that we can do instead of throwing things away that we can reuse. We were talking about that yesterday, which is really important. That's really weird. There's something really weird going on there. Anyway, okay. So whereabouts are you based, and where is your workspace?
Yeah, so we're based in Reigate, so just around the corner from you guys. And because it was sort of started in lockdown, our business is very much at home. It started off, not taking up very much space at all, and gradually, I think, as is often the case with businesses run from home, it's slowly taking over. So, I'm in my dining room right now, which has now also become my study, but my whole dining room table is currently covered in candles that are in various sort of stages of production. The kitchen gets taken over at night when all the children are asleep, and we can make candles safely. And my husband, all the glass, started off outside. And now as time's gone on, he's now got an outside working space, and he's also converted our basement
Wow.
as well into an additional cutting studio. So yeah, it's slowly
Fantastic.
taking
And
over every room
so
of
with
the house.
your, there's somebody saying there's some, I think there's some delay or something going on, which is strange. So whereabouts would you find your bottles from? Is it kind of the friends who give them to you, or?
So at the beginning, it was the ones that we were plogged, and then over time we started asking people around us if they could sort of donate bottles. So our next door neighbours will give us their bottles, but they also said to anybody like locally that sort of was passing by, because obviously during lockdown you couldn't go out of your way to see things, but they would sort of drop bottles in the basket as well. So that was really good, because we couldn't get out to friends and family initially. Now we can, we do. A friend of mine got married in summer, and so she donated all the bottles from that. So we got some really lovely bottles from that. We do also get special requests. So sometimes someone might have a special kind of bottle from, for example, recently we had one that was a birthday bottle. We had one that was a Valentine's Day bottle. That might be one that they really want to just keep and remember that night. So then that, and then turn that into a candle for them to
and it's great, isn't
carry
it?
on remembering that
you
evening.
have sort of like a celebration, and you open a bottle of wine, and you almost, sometimes people, and we did it for a while, you keep hold of the cork because it would remind you, wouldn't it? And then obviously the bottle, so it's a really nice way of actually reusing it. So there's some weird thing going on. I don't know what's going on today, but hopefully this will be okay when we're listening to it. I think it's me talking. I was like a microphone or something. It's kind of, but it's not. It's not. Anyway, so have you a favourite item to create? Why have you chosen that?
I mean, to be honest, my favourite tends to depend on what I'm working on. So quite often I'll say that my favourite scent is whatever I'm burning at the time. But at the moment, it's what I'm making at the time, because we're having to massively sort of upscale our productions and run up to Christmas, because that's when there's obviously a huge peak in demand. So at the moment, we're working on a new scent that we announced just a couple of days ago called Cinnamon and Clove, which is a really, really lovely Christmassy scent. This one. So it's so at the moment my whole house smells of this, because last night I was making copious amounts of these, and this year we've kind of come up with these lovely lantern style ones. So as they burn down, you get a lovely lantern kind of effect through that as well. So at the moment that's my favourite, because it's what I'm working on. But I think the thing about having your own business and creating your own products is that obviously you don't create anything that you don't love yourself. So it's sort of like favourite child thing. It's kind of like, you know, with whichever one you're with.
I was just going to say something then with regards to, God, my brain's gone. It'll come back. You know, just something about your cat. Come back. Anyway, I've got some really. This is really weird lighting today. It's quite strange, but I don't know if maybe it's trying to catch up with mess. Maybe a kind of. Let's ignore that. Oh, that's good. To your candles and labels, do you design all of that yourself, or do you have somebody doing that?
So I'm very lucky. Brilliant. One of my really close friends is she creates all of our designs for us. We'll sort of usually hand sketch something. My husband's quite creative. I have no artist whatsoever, so he'll sort of sketch something out, and then between us we'll sort of tweak it and think about what we want to do with it, and then we send it to her and she turns it into a proper actual deliverable design. And that's certainly the case with these latest labels, because the sort of the toing and froing with the printers and designers, it was all way above my head. So so we're really lucky. That's been we had an idea of the colour and kind of the style of the brand, but then she created all like the logos and everything for us. So she's kind of come along on the journey with us.
Fantastic, yeah, and that's great, isn't it? Also, what I love, I'm not still doing it, and it's lovely because it's very, very personalised. It's very unique as well, isn't it? It's something, as we keep saying, something that you can't just go to a local shop and buy. It's totally personal to that person as well, isn't it? Which is great. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, no,
We
definitely.
have a, oh God, there's a really, about being friendly, creative, and unique, as everyone knows. Is there an ethos or something that you abide by as such?
Yeah, I mean, I think the kind of the core of it is that everything is having either a sort of a positive effect, sort of environmentally, or is having a small impact as possible. I think when you're producing anything, it has an environmental impact. So it's just thinking about how you can make really sort of responsible choices to make sure that the things that you're
Yeah.
creating aren't adding to the problem. So obviously, reusing glass that would otherwise go into recycling. I mean, our Prime Minister just yesterday was talking about how actually recycling isn't necessarily the answer, that, you know, we need to try and make sure that we're reusing things as much as we can and that we're buying responsibly. So those are the things that are constantly running through our head. Whenever we're adding something to our product range, whenever we're developing a product, we're always thinking about how we can make sure that that is as environmentally friendly as possible. So that comes down to things like reusing packaging. So if we ever get a delivery, we'll try and make sure we can preserve the box. We can then reuse that for one of our deliveries. We've got some local businesses that also donate those to us. So we're sort of trying to make sure that everything we do has that in mind. You know, the whole kind of concept was inspired by nature, and you know, as parents as well, you know, we feel a responsibility to make sure that we are passing on, you know, an environment that they will, you know, they're going to be living with the legacy of whatever we do. So we've got the responsibility to make sure that we're passing.
And it's a great thing to carry on, isn't it? Especially when you are what you said just now. I know just up the road where I live, there's the railway, and you look over the bridge, and there's like the park of Meadowbank, and there's just the amount of rubbish that they've sat there and they've just thrown it. You know, there's a bin right next to where they sit, and you look at it, and it's absolutely awful. But if we can, you know, teach the kids not to throw litter around and to think about before you throw that in the bin. Ooh, what can I do with it? And also, you know, that's really important to us as Created by Dapper Suave, of taking on these businesses where people come along and almost you've made that out of that. And, you know, I think that's a really kind of great eye-opener, isn't it? That so we are looking for a lot more of those kind of businesses to join us, because it just gets people thinking, isn't it? And if, you know, somebody walks away from our event and they actually say, oh, actually, I can redo, or I can, you know, or that's made into that, they might think a little bit differently, we hope. So what are your goals and dreams for kind of this year and sort of going forward?
So at the moment we're currently stocked in one shop locally, but we're at the moment in talks with a new shop, which is that really embodies everything we're about. Both of the shops that will be stocking us are also independent family businesses. So Dorking Halls, they were our original stockist, and they're based on Belgium in Reigate, and they're a fantastic independent family business. And then we're at the moment just in the process of putting our candles into New Leaf, which is on Prices Lane in Reigate, and that's a top-up shop if you're not familiar with it. So they you can take, you know, your empty packets and fill them up with everything you could possibly need, you know, cereal, flour, everything you can think of. So, but they also have sort of eco-friendly gifting options. So we're working with them at the moment. So so we're really lucky that two of our favourite sort of shops in Reigate will be stocking us. So that's really exciting. And we're also in talks with a local charity to start donating 10% of the profit from each candle to that charity, so that it sort of continue that kind of drive.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. And
nature.
You know, it's really nice as well to know. And actually, I was in Reigate and I forgot the Reigate, the eco shop. I went to all the businesses for something I'm working on at the moment, and totally forgot to go and say hello to them. I will pop in to see them next time I'm there. And it's also really good to see you know, you guys in different shops, because like yourself, you know, you haven't got a shop, but being in the shop and people knowing where you are is and I try to shout out to lots of shops and other businesses to try and work with us. Can tell them about you guys, where you are when you're not at our events and such. So yeah, it's really good to know that as well. Definitely.
What makes both of those businesses as well is they're both really passionate about all their products. So if you ask them about something, they won't just go, "Oh, I don't know."
Yeah.
They'll be able to talk to you about kind of like how that product came about and the background of it. And both of them as well are really focused on local. So they both really focus on trying to make sure that as much of their suppliers are as local
and you
as
know,
possible.
we've got a new shop, Eco B, in the town, so Tony, and you know, it's really great because the other day we actually had social media training, but it was in the shop, and there was 10 people that came along who didn't know about the shop. So we need to, you know, I'm going to get him savvy. I'm be doing reels and all sorts of TikTok with it, but showing about the brand. And I for one have to say that, you know, all the things I buy, rice or whatever, I just need to get my little, you know, lock and lock, and I need to get down there, and I need to do it, and obviously educate myself and educate others. So, and it's like say you have local produce, which is really, really great. So who would you say is your support network?
So I think when we started up, it was really sort of the family and friends. So as I say, we've had lots of support with sort of dropping off bottles, and you know, some of our first purchases before you kind of get your name out there were you know, my very first order was to my uncle. So you know, you feel kind of get a lot of support from that, and likewise we've got very small children. I say small children, you know, five and 2. So right now they're out with their grandparents for a walk so that I can do this. So we've had a huge amount of support from them. But the thing I think I kind of, that was something that was lovely. But the thing that has surprised me so much is how we've been embraced into the local business community, how warm people are, and free with their time in terms of giving you advice and support. And that was something that I hadn't anticipated. We're part of the Love Reigate membership group, which I know you're part of, and we went to a networking evening the other night, and you know, everyone's really happy to talk about their own experiences and to kind of offer advice and look at ways that you can kind of collaborate, and that's just been incredible. We also work closely with Crumbs Brewing, who are another eco-friendly business. They recycle bread from Chalk Hills Bakery into beer. And he's been incredibly supportive as well, and kind of channeling me towards the right resources locally as we've gone along. So we've been that's been something that I hadn't anticipated, and it's just been a really rewarding
and
part
it's great,
of
isn't
the
it?
experience.
Because there is that support. I mean, not competition that I stole from. So important, and you know, also talking about those businesses there. You know, they're there to help you and guide, which is really great. And you know, it's kind of working together as well, isn't it? Which is so important. And you know, with Love Reigate, we joined those because obviously that's where I met you, wasn't it? So you, along with a few other people that are coming on board. So, and you know, me and Julian, we met the other day, and he so understands our ethos of what we're about. And actually, on Thursday, we're doing a Love Reigate special, so we'll be actually chatting away to Julian, which is really good, and just getting those connections, because like you say, he understands and what we're all about, which is really great, which is really good. So what events are you doing with Curated by Dapper and Suave?
So we have our first event with you guys coming up on Sunday the 14th of November. So we're really excited about that. And we also have the Christmas event at the Barnet Solo, which is Thursday the 25th of November in the sort of afternoon, evening. So I mean, I've been in there a few times as a customer, but I've never actually sort of been at one of these. I'm really excited about that one as well, and it's right in the heart of Reigate. So that'll be a really fun one to be at as well.
With with that one, Barnet Solo, we've actually got an event which we're doing next month, which is the International Men's Day, which is a really great event, and also the Christmas market. It's going to look stunning. You know, there's all going to be a gold and green theme, and you know, it's kind of inside, outside, cider, and lots of lovely food, and obviously yourself there. So, and really utilising the space that we've got, which is great. Anyone that is coming along to any of our events and they have any tools or something that are precious to them, you know, come along and bring it to you guys, and you know, you can, you know, discuss whatever with that, bring it along and talk that if that's the case. You're open to that, aren't you, on the events?
100%. We kind of will create whatever is sort of imagination.
Yeah.
Is kind of the sort of the only limitation. We had a pair of magnums donated to us the other day from some friends, and the thing about magnums is obviously like the sort of like the bottom is quite high for a candle, so you start thinking, oh, what are the other things we can turn this into? So by the time we get to your market, we're going to have some more new. So we're kind of constantly thinking and developing and working, and that every time you see something new in terms of glass, and that kind of creates more ideas. So yeah, 100%. If anyone's got something that quite often people say to me, oh, it's just been sat on the side because I couldn't bear to throw it away. And we had that with I think it's Roku gin. Someone gave us one of those, and they wanted it turned into a vase, and it's made the most beautiful vase because it's got all beautiful floral kind of design on the outside of it. So yeah, anything that you're sort of holding on to because you can't bear to part with it, that you think could be, you know, turned into something new.
Yeah,
definitely
we were saying
bring it along. We'll have a look.
We have Bat's Hill Gin and Binary Botanicals, so it would be great. We'll maybe have a little chat with them to maybe show, because it'd be great to that collaboration of showing their bottles, which are lovely as well, aren't they? With the design on it, that you could cut it, they could become vases, or you could put stones and succulents in it. All different ideas I've got. And also anyone as well, if they come along to our November and give a bottle, then, you know, I'm sure that in the time frame as well, because it's a couple of weeks away, that then you could come along to the Barnet Solo on the 25th and collect it there and then. So you get two events for the price of one. There we go. A little bit of promotion there. So last question that I always ask is why did you choose to work with us?
Yeah. Well, so as you say, we met the Love Reggae Market, and you came over. I instantly recognised you and Rob because of all the work that you do with Curated and Dapper Suave, and I'd already seen it. So so we obviously met and connected there, and everything that you guys are about in terms of creating a kind of a community of kind of and that sort of support network alongside sort of working together is everything that we love about having our own small business. I mean, sort of back to what I was talking about before, you know, how incredibly welcoming everyone's been to us as a business. You know, yourself and Rob have been a part of that. You know, we've had a couple of chats on the phone each time an opportunity's come up, and we've had a chat about it. And that's just a huge part of why I enjoy running this business.
And we're really, you know, when you're at the next event, there is this sort of, you can't bottle it. It's something that's very unique, as in the name, but it's something very about all of us together. There's, you know, there's a real community, and I love the fact, I was talking to somebody the other day, and he's built like relationships with people there that in everyday life they would never connect, but because through Curated and being next to each other at an event, you know, you put them together, and the next minute an event they're chatting away, and they built, because they've got to know each other but understand each other, because we're all in this together. We're all here for one purpose, to, you know, support our businesses, which is really great, really good. Excellent. Hopefully this is going to come out okay. There's a bit of, I don't know what's going on, but anyway, we'll go on to our IGTV. Please obviously go and have a look on details of Nature Reclaim Shop, and also we'll put that onto our YouTube so anyone can go and watch it later as well. And really looking forward to seeing you on the 14th of November. It kind of doesn't seem very long now, does it? I keep looking at the diary. That's everything I'm doing at the moment. I'm like, oh my God, it's going to be before we know it. But it's going to be a really, really great event. Yeah.
every night it's just busy making. Because before a market, you know how it is. You just think, oh, just a little bit more, just a little bit more. Make sure I've got enough. It always seems to all go.
Busy. Yeah, I think
just,
we're all in that at the
busy,
moment.
busy
I mean,
till then. But
there are some times where, especially now, there's people even like ourselves. We're doing, and the day before we're at an event as Dapper Suave, and it's almost about 4 weekends like that. But it's good fun and lots of different people. Even we were at Effingham at the weekend, and it was different for an event for us, but we got to meet some absolutely lovely people, and a few of them will be coming on the 14th, which was, and that's just nice, just to more people to come to our events and know about us as well, which is really good. So anyway, nice to speak to you, and like I say, we'll see you on the keep busy, I'm sure you are. And take care, see you soon. All right, bye bye.